Hey everybody, it's Alex and Spencer again with Debt Collection 101 on Arbeit.
Yeah, we have a very, very special episode today. Not only is it our Halloween episode, we're joined by a very spooky guest.
Two guests.
Two guests, yeah, two idiots.
We have our very own Ashley Campanella.
Who, you guys have probably gotten phone calls from her. Better answer. Mm-hmm. She recently returned from the ACA in Arkansas. Yes, Arkansas. Little Rock, Arkansas.
What a cute little town that was.
And then our other guest is...
our little Pumpkinhead.
Oh. Hello, Pumpkinhead.
Welcome.
So, while Ashley was away at work, she learned something new. Right? You're going to tell all the fine folks at home what you learned from the ACA in Arkansas.
Yes, I would love to tell you guys what we learned in Arkansas.
They would love to hear it.
So, one of the biggest things we talked about was licensing, actually. So, the number one complaint they had in the state of Arkansas was unlicensed agencies or phantom collectors.
Who had the complaint? The CFPB?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, this is the number one complaint they got.
Right. Yes.
Was unlicensed agencies.
Yes.
Right. Continue.
Okay. So, I just wanted to reiterate that the renewal process is not a one-time deal. Every year you need to renew your license, which is good for legitimate agencies, so you guys should want this to be enforced. Another thing is some people don't renew. So you have these agencies who are getting penalties for not renewing, and in Arkansas the penalty is actually up to $10,000. So I'm sure no one wants to pay $10,000 to not be renewed, and it only costs $125 in Arkansas. I think they range from like $125 to $200.
And there's different, so they get a warning that they're getting they need to renew their license, right?
Right.
This is one of the things I talked about, and then they get a second letter after
the date that they should renew by, saying that they didn't renew, and they kind of give you a warning saying like you need to do this. So what Arkansas was actually talking about doing is basically based on how long you wait to renew. After that day, the penalty should be greater.
So they were trying to finalize. They were trying to come up with a penalty system almost for people who don't renew their license.
So the CFPB was asking the ACA Arkansas group for their feedback.
Correct.
Which is good.
Yeah, and one of the things they mentioned was it's going to play a role off people who have gone the longest without renewing their license. Right, the fine's going to be greater for those people.
Right. But for like first-time offenders who this was their first time not renewing their license, they could possibly just get a slap on the wrist. Next year, if they don't renew it, obviously they would have that penalty. So I think that's a great system that they're doing that, and they're not just right off the bat, you got to pay $500. They're giving you an ultimatum. So
right. So the moral of the story is licensing is important.
Yes. Don't operate your business without a license.
Right. And I think it's not even like a lot of people aren't doing it. I think it happens sometimes just unintentionally.
Yeah. And that's one of the things they talk about, right?
Yeah.
But they work really hard to let you know your license has run out, right? And that's one of the things they touched on.
So you need to, if newer agencies I think don't
look it up.
They don't understand this. Maybe they just get licensed where they are and assume now they can collect anywhere, but that's not how it works. You need to be licensed in the states that you're calling and collecting debt in.
And there's companies that actually specialize in helping agencies get those licensing.
Yeah, there's a ton of these companies at all the bigger ACA events. There's 3 or 4 of those vendors always there. So
and you could always partner with someone who's licensed in that state.
Yep, and have them collect their debt for you. Yeah,
it's an easy way of getting out of having to license.
Yeah.
And if you guys do continue to collect debt without a license, they could actually subpoena you and get all the information.
Great point. So they can actually subpoena you and get access to more information that way.
Yeah.
So anything is now public.
Yes. For a bigger issue.
Yes, everything is now public information if you get that subpoena.
Right, and if you do have to renew your license, don't make up some lie like you have Ebola or something. That's what they said.
That was one of the excuses for why they didn't renew their license. I got that Ebola going around.
That's what they. Oh my
God. So just be honest, and hopefully the penalty will just be less if you
always be honest. Always be honest.
So in this instance, the CFPB was working with the ACA.
The board of
in Arkansas, going over realistic scenarios, like just saying, hey, listen, we appreciate when you're honest, because then we can work with you to fix this problem, right? In some cases they just say, okay, like a slap on the wrist, just get licensed, right? If it's like something that probably overlaps a little bit of time, but at the end of the day, licensing is important, especially as you grow as an agency. You need to make sure that you're licensed in every state that you're calling. If you're not, like Spencer said, find an agency that is to collect that debt for you, or just don't collect it. But you're opening yourself up to huge issues if you're not.
And this is something Ashley touched on, is this is something everyone should be concerned about, right? Because it's the unlicensed agencies that are the ones that give collections a bad name.
Yeah, they call
Right.
it ghost right? What do
Yeah.
they call it?
Phantom
Phantom
collectors.
collectors.
Yeah.
So this is something like the whole collection industry needs to get behind and support.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, thank you, Ashley.
Yeah, this licensing. Make sure you renew.
Yes, and if you're going to the ACA Fall Forum,
We will be there.
we will be there. So make sure you
Maybe
stop.
Yeah, maybe I'll be there. Pumpkinhead, I don't think he'll be there.
Well, you never know. I'd rather have him than you. Make sure you stop by our booth and say hello, and let us know you watch. We always like meeting fans.
Yeah.
Until next time.
If you like what you saw, subscribe below.
Even if you didn't subscribe below.
Final words. Okay.
Did I scare you?
Happy Halloween.
Yeah,
Thank you,
and happy
Pumpkinhead.
Bye.
Thanks,
See ya.
guys, for having me.
See you next time.